Okay, so it's been about a month now since the last update. It's currently Tuesday, the 30th of January. And a quick market overview. We'll just be covering ETH and BTC very shortly here. Higher time frame, we're looking at Bitcoin here. Kind of like a recovery from the 38K level. I think I spoke about this level previously in the other videos. Additionally, you just kind of have this order block here, which we ripped through, and now you kind of use this as a breaker, right? So there's a whole breaker strategy out on the channel, released about a month ago now as well, probably like 3 weeks ago. So you can theoretically call this a breaker, and if you don't know what they are, then just check that video out. So yeah, we kind of break through this order block straight into this higher time frame, and honestly, you could argue here is another order block up here, which we kind of got rejected from, right? But for now, let's keep it simple and just say that this is a clean liquidity sweep and rejection off this level or top of the range, which is kind of this red line here. So that is what has occurred there. Additionally, there is a fair value gap built up since we kind of dumped from this 47K level. We came down, right, retested that 38K breaker, so to speak. Now we ripped through, but we'll see in the lower time for what I'm talking about. But during this price action, we essentially just create a fair value gap, which is now currently being tested or mitigated. So going down to the 4 hour, what we see is kind of the retest that I'm speaking about. Then I had this order block for rejection, which I shorted up into here at 42.8 or something. I took this and I took most of the profits here once I saw we were recovering. So very tiny profit, but still, that is that. Kind of, it was mainly just to hedge the longs I am in currently, so that if this does break down, I have a short on BTC back to 38 or ultimately 32, which would be the main level of interest to kind of go, fill up your spot bags, right? With this fair value gap over here, it would be fair to see this breaker retest kind of fail, and then we bleed down to 32, which is of course a plan, again, as I said in a previous market overview, that a lot of people had, but I think a lot of people are now, since they're kind of euphoric that we're up so high, are kind of skipping the idea of 32 still being a great level. And then once we're from 48 back to 32, down 16K, a lot of people won't really care here anymore because it'll just be fearful. But if you continue to follow that plan and you kind of buy into this fair value gap from 30 to 33, it's more than a safe area to start purchasing again. Furthermore, there's a few small fair value gaps at 27, 22 that I highly doubt being retested. So 32 is like the main level where I'm buying a lot of spot. So back to the 4 hour, we're currently in this fair value gap. We had this kind of order block that I was speaking about right over here. We ripped through it, and now what you can pretend, or not pretend, but kind of expect is a breaker. This turned into a breaker again, just like we did over here. If we come back down into this, you see it hold. This can be a great area to go long, and then ultimately probably retest the top of the range, because the range is currently this, right? Top of the range 46, bottom of the range 39, and then if this comes into here seeing support, you can expect this kind of being retested here 47, 46, and then break down again. I doubt we're going to sweep this, and if we do, that's fair too, because then we're going up above 48, and of course we can also just see a breakout or a breakdown if this doesn't hold from here. That's all possible, but this is kind of the first expectation I have. Just turn this order block into a breaker and see continued upside. And yeah, you could, once we're up at 46, I would try a hedge short, right? You kind of just look here for a short and a break back down below. That's essentially it for Bitcoin on most time frames. There's not much else to say. We're currently kind of mitigating this fair value gap right over here that is available, or you can see it on the 1 day chart. So yeah, that's kind of what you should be looking at on BTC. ETH, slightly different story. On the daily, we obviously look less, we've overall, if you just zoom out, ETH has still done a lot less than BTC has, but it still looks solid. It still looks pretty solid. And there's little to say except we kind of broke out at the top of its range. If you want to argue this was its range, we are currently out of the range, but of course, like I have on BTC, a double range. So this is that range on ETH that we just broke out of, and the secondary range is up to here. And if you see, contrast to ETH, this is one range and this is the other range. So if this was Bitcoin, we'd currently be up here. So you can see the relative strength on BTC is quite insane. Yeah, and we can of course copy paste this entire range if we so please. Very quickly. Like, it's fucking whatever. You get the point. So to speak, let's say this is the other range. Easily put together. That's the secondary range here, and you can see that comparatively we are not even close to the same level on the higher time frame. On the lower time frame, I think ETH is also a better hedge short, with a lot clearer price action overall to be looked at, right? So we have this first order block that we currently rejected off. Super clean, super clear, where in contrast to BTC, who did this and broke this order block and can now use it as a breaker, ETH cannot. So that's a nice short. If you want to hedge, ETH looks relatively weak comparatively. Additionally, the lows it has put in here, this just doesn't look this just doesn't look very strong here comparatively to BTC. So yeah, these type of things are warning signs for ETH that we can probably see lower, and the primary interest level for me is very, very much 18. One of the main concerns I have with ETH overall is, of course, all these levels below that have liquidity, right? Equal lows, equal lows, equal lows. Now, I'm not expecting to retest 800, but still, there's a lot of liquidity at these levels, even here, right? That has been untapped, right? And this is a crazy nice level for ETH to at least come down, wipe, recover about the 2000 level, and then come back up. So that's a bearish view I have on ETH, and otherwise it just needs to show strength and kind of recoup these main levels. I think that's essentially it. I think that covers most of what I want to say about ETH, BTC, and a market overview. So just look for strength and recovering of these levels, and if we see rejection like we're seeing right now off of here on ETH, it's 2300, and BTC it's off of this 44k level, then just be cautious, right? Don't be overzealous on longs. Try to open a hedge short on whatever shows weakness, and then focus on alts mainly. You can see here the main alts that I am looking at are these. So just, I'm not going to go over them, but you can just check them out yourself and see. All these alts, all of it is available to be traded on Bybit. Link is down below. You can trade with my affiliate. I will be earning a percentage of the fees, so it will always help out if you do sign up with that link. And yeah, check out all the articles, all the other videos we have on here. If you don't understand what breakers are, or what fair value gaps are, or what this VRVP is, or all this stuff, it's all on the channel, so just check it out.